Hey guys, Mr. McGann. Today we're going to look at solving basic polynomial equations. Alright, so we'll start off with this. The quantity x plus 4 times the quantity x minus 7 equals 0. Now if we think about this, if you're going to multiply two things and the answer is 0, then one of those has to be 0, because 0 times anything is 0. Or maybe both of them equal 0. So this quantity or this quantity must equal 0. If that's the case, then let's set it up that way. X plus 4 must equal 0, or x minus 7 equals 0, or maybe they both do. Okay, let's solve. Subtract 4 on both sides. X equals negative 4. Over here, we'll add 7 on both sides. X equals 7. And then we have two solutions. X could equal negative 4, or x could equal 7. Alright, same thing here. We're multiplying two quantities. One of them is going to be 0, if not both of them. So let's set them equal to 0. X plus 9 is going to equal 0, or x minus 9 is going to equal 0. Solve. We'll subtract 9 on both sides. X equals negative 9, or add 9 to both sides. X equals positive 9. Okay, not too difficult. Right here, same thing. We have two quantities. The first quantity has a bit more to it. No big deal. We can handle that. So either 2x plus 6 equals 0, or the x minus 1 equals 0. 2x plus 6, well, we've got to do two steps here. Subtract 6. 2x equals negative 6. Divide by 2. X equals negative 3. That's one solution. We'll add 1 on both sides. X equals positive 1. Alright, try another one. Now this one, I'm not multiplying two quantities, but if you look closely, you'll realize that you can factor this. We have a binomial here where I can factor out a GCF. So, let's see, what do each of these terms have in common? Well, 3 goes into both, and x to the first power goes into for both of them. So let's factor out a 3x. Alright, 3x goes into 3x squared x times, because 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay, that plus comes down, plus. 3x goes into 6x twice. Why? Because 2 times 3x is 6x. Now I have two quantities. I have 3x times x plus 2. So either 3x equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So I had to factor out a GCF first, then basically set the problem up like we've been doing. So here, I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. X could equal 0. On this side, I'll subtract 2 on both sides. X could equal negative 2. Okay, and of course, we could always substitute these numbers back in to see if it works out. So if I put 0 in for x, 0 squared is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, plus 6 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. If I put negative 2 in for x, negative 2 squared is 4, 3 times 4 is 12. If I put negative 2 in for this x, 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. 12 plus negative 12 is 0. I get 0 both ways. All right, once again, I don't have two quantities I'm multiplying, but it looks like we can factor something out. Looks like a 4 goes into both of these terms, and it looks like I can factor an x squared out also. So if I factor 4x squared out of 4x to the third power, I have an x minus. If I factor 4x squared out of 12x squared, I think I just have a 3. Yep. Alright, so now I have that times that. So either 4x squared equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. Alright, let's divide by 4 on both sides. X squared equals 0. Take the square root of both sides, and x equals 0. Add 3 to both sides. X equals 3. So either x is 0 or 3. All right, now this last one. This one's a little bit different. This one is actually not really grouped with these problems. This would be what will be coming in the next section, but let's take a look at it. Based on what we've done, maybe it'll make some sense to you. All right, so first off, we've been looking for two quantities being multiplied together to equal 0, and I don't see that here. I look and there's no GCF to factor out. But if I write this, and I look at this trinomial, x squared plus 6x plus 9, I think back to the special patterns that we were looking at, and I remember that when the first term is x, I'm going to get this x squared. When this term is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and since I have two additions, I do plus here. This is one of my special products patterns. So x plus 3 times x plus 3 is x squared plus 6x plus 9. If you're still not sure, FOIL it and see. It does turn out. So now x plus 3 must equal 0. I'm not going to write it twice because they're both the same, x plus 3. Subtract 3 on both sides. X equals negative 3, and that's just one solution. All right, so that one, you have to factor a trinomial, and that's something we're going to be doing next, but I tried to give you one that maybe you recognize from some work that we did do. All right, so there we go. Factoring, solving. Good luck.